Don't mistake this woman's nervous laughter.
You're gonna go back in your...
She is terrified.
No.
She had done the right thing, not getting behind the wheel after a night out with friends in Seattle and ordered a lift. But at 2:45 in the morning, her driver followed her up to the door, grabbing at her, grabbing himself in an obscene way. After a long 2 minutes, he smacks her behind and leaves. She safely gets inside. The next morning, her boyfriend checked the security camera and found that the Lyft driver returned a half-hour later, tested the windows, the door handle, and knocked.
Kind of freaks me out the most is the fact that, he knows where I live.
The woman asked me not to show her face or use her name, but she wanted you to know her story. The Lyft driver was convicted last September of assault with sexual motivation for the incident.
I wouldn't give my address out to a random person on the street. It's important for, people like this to, have background checks or have, safety kind of audit.
Serious complaints about some rideshare drivers are coming from customers across the country and the Bay Area. Tomorrow morning, Orlando Vilches Lazo is scheduled to appear in San Francisco Superior Court again. Prosecutors call him the rideshare rapist for attacks on 4 women over 5 years. He says he's not guilty. ICE reports Lazo is in the country illegally. Lyft says he fraudulently represented himself when signing up to be a driver and removed him when the allegations became public. Uber suspended driver Brandon Sherman for misconduct just a day before he sexually assaulted a woman in San Mateo County last August, according to police. They also say he still drove for Lyft, but police tell me he picked up the passenger off the street, not from an app.
At the time of this incident, his vehicle did have affixed to the windshield both Lyft and Uber stickers.
Also this past summer, Uber driver Westain Pierre was convicted of raping a female passenger he had picked up at a restaurant. Surveillance video showed him carrying the woman from the back of his car into a Maryland motel. The victim called police after the attack.
Do you have an emergency, ma'am?
I don't know how I woke up here.
Uber tells me this was a deplorable crime that nobody should ever have to go through. We've worked closely with police to support their investigation.
Here we have an app that basically puts women in predators' cars.
I met attorneys Megan McCormick and Rachel Abrams at their office on San Francisco's Embarcadero, where they are working dozens of rideshare assault cases. They say Uber and Lyft have to do a better job checking out their drivers. As it stands right now, the rideshares rely on the DMV and a third-party background check company.
How do you screen the drivers?
With 2 different background checks.
There is no face-to-face meeting, no drug test, no fingerprint with federal background check through LiveScan.
Companies don't require to even talk on the phone, let alone a face-to-face interview.
I think also with the fingerprinting, there's a sense of accountability. If you're a driver, you know your fingerprint is on file, and then that matters.
That's what happens at taxi companies like San Francisco's Flywheel. Fingerprints, drug tests, close supervision, cameras in all the cars that feed the cloud so managers can see what's happening. Safety manager Corey Lamb tells me no Flywheel driver has assaulted a passenger in the past year.
Not one.
How about last 2 years?
Not one.
5 years?
Not one.
10 years?
Not one. I've been here 13. The driver's never assaulted a passenger.
A Lyft spokesperson said he would get back to me on my request for an interview and questions about passenger safety. He has not. And Uber declined an on-camera interview but emailed, "There is nothing more important than the safety of the riders and drivers we serve. That's why we've doubled down on safety over the last 18 months, strengthening U.S. background checks, launching new safety features. While no background check is perfect, our process is thorough, fair, and conducted in accordance with state law."